Hi, I'm Dan Zanoble, and here's another side project I've been working on to practice simulating with Webots. Webots is an open source simulator with solid ROS2 support that has a few advantages over Gazebo. It's comparatively lightweight, so it's good for simulating complicated robots or swarms. Its proto system makes it easy to model custom robots, and its physics engine and collisions are more stable than Gazebo's. I haven't had any incidences of my models randomly flying away at Mach 5. The objective of this project was to recreate the functionality of the Webots ROS2 TurtleBot package that comes with the Webots tutorial files, but with the ability to launch multiple robots with separate navigation or SLAM stacks. I think this project will help close what I consider a knowledge gap in the Webots examples available on GitHub. This project was inspired by a final project from last semester. The objective was to build a multi-robot simulation in Webots, taking advantage of its improved performance with multiple robots compared to Gazebo. The pre-built Webots ROS2 TurtleBot package seemed like a natural starting point to build off of. It makes use of Nav2 and the SLAM toolbox to spawn a TurtleBot with integrated mapping and pathfinding that could easily be applied to any desired swarm behavior. However, I and many others in my class ran into issues modifying this package to launch multiple robots due to namespacing issues. Webots hasn't been open source for as long as the other simulation systems, so the small community footprint made it difficult to find any solutions online, or even from ChatGPT or Claude. Seriously, the LLMs were kinda useless for troubleshooting this, confidently giving unhelpful and contradictory suggestions. I was hoping to find something on GitHub like this TB3 multi-robot package, but with the simulation in Webots instead of Gazebo. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything like that, and we ended up making a package from scratch for our submission. This knowledge gap frustrated me, and I decided if the example I was looking for didn't exist yet, I would try to make it myself. I was able to accomplish this by modifying the Webots ROS2 TurtleBot, TurtleBot 3 Navigation 2, and TurtleBot 3 Cartographer packages to correctly namespace the topics and frames for each individual robot. This can be used to launch either multiple TurtleBot 3s or multiple custom robots of my own design. The numRobots parameter can be used to choose the number of bots. Launching with Nav2 uses the customized TurtleBot 3 Navigation 2 package to provide an RViz window for each robot with built-in pathfinding for obstacle avoidance. Launching with SLAM uses the modified TurtleBot 3 Cartographer package to let each robot map out its environment with LiDAR data. Each robot gets a fully isolated ROS2 namespace containing a TF tree going from map to ODOM to baselink to the LiDAR frame, namespace topics for scan, CMDVEL, ODOM, and IMU, and independent diff drive controllers and joint state broadcasters from ROS2 control. Launching with Nav2 or SLAM gives you fully separated navigation or SLAM stacks for each robot. The trick to doing this was single file templating. All of the per robot configuration files, such as the robot URDFs, ROS2 control YAML, Nav2 YAML, RViz, and more, are temporary files generated from single template files at launch time by substituting the robot NS placeholder with robot 1 or robot 2 or so on. I'm sure there's improvements to be made on this. It can take a few tries for the multi-robot SLAM to boot up properly, and it freezes up sometimes, at least on the decade-old laptop I'm running this on. But this set of 3 packages accomplishes what I set out to do with this project, a multi-robot equivalent to the Webots ROS2 TurtleBot package. Hopefully this is helpful to anyone looking for a jumping off point for their swarm robot project. If you have any suggestions on how I can improve this, feel free to reach out. Webots is a pretty interesting simulation software, and I aim to continue improving my skills with it. Thanks for watching.